Listen carefully. What's coming is not another holiday message, not another seasonal feeling, not another mystical headline meant to fade by morning. This night is different. Christmas Eve is arriving with a weight most people will never notice. While homes glow with lights and conversations blur into laughter, something ancient is tightening its grip beneath the surface of reality. A pressure point in time is forming, quiet, invisible, and precise. And once it releases, nothing inside you returns to its previous shape. This is not coincidence. It is not belief-based. It does not require faith to function. It is timing. For most of the world, tomorrow night will pass unnoticed. People will eat, celebrate, distract themselves, and sleep. But while they drift off unaware, something rare completes a cycle that has been turning for more than a century. A sequence that only reaches completion once in a human lifetime. And when it completes, it does not announce itself with noise. It speaks through the subconscious, through dreams, through sudden awakenings in the dead of night, through the strange feeling that something important is about to happen, even if you can't explain why. If you've been waking up lately between 2 and 4 in the morning for no clear reason, if your dreams have felt heavier, more vivid, more emotional than usual, if you've been carrying an unshakable sense that your life is approaching a turning point, this message is not random, and neither are you. You didn't find this by accident. Tomorrow night isn't special because of tradition. It's special because of alignment. Because while the world is focused outward, the sky is doing something inward. Something that reaches directly into memory, identity, and destiny. This is a night when the boundary between what you think you are and what you actually are becomes dangerously thin. And here's what makes this moment so powerful. This alignment does not work on the conscious mind first. It bypasses logic. It ignores skepticism. It slips past defenses and goes straight to the part of you that remembers who you were before life hardened you, before fear shaped your decisions, before survival became more important than purpose. That's why it comes through sleep. That's why it arrives when you're not trying to control it. That's why so many people feel restless without knowing why. Something is preparing to make contact, not with everyone, but with those whose inner world has already been loosening, those who have felt their old identity cracking, those who have sensed that the life they've been living no longer fits, even if it looks fine from the outside. Tomorrow night marks the peak of a build-up that has been quietly intensifying for months. You may have felt it as emotional exhaustion, as sudden nostalgia, as the resurfacing of people, memories, or questions you thought were finished. That wasn't regression. That was preparation. Because when this night arrives, your subconscious does not wander. It receives. And what it receives is not vague inspiration or symbolic fluff. It is targeted, personal, precise. Messages shaped specifically for the language your soul understands. This is why the dreams that come won't behave like normal dreams. They won't feel random. They won't dissolve the moment you wake up. They will carry weight. They will linger. They may disturb you, move you, or leave you sitting upright in bed wondering what just happened. That reaction is the point. This is the moment where cycles end, not gently, but decisively, where illusions lose their power, where the version of you that survived up until now is quietly evaluated, and either released or repurposed. Most people will sleep through it, not because they aren't worthy, but because they aren't listening. But if you're here, watching this, feeling the pull instead of resisting it. You are already participating. And this is only the beginning, because once you understand why this night is different, you'll understand why the messages coming next are impossible to ignore. 3 transmissions are moving toward you. They are not warnings, they are not fantasies, they are instructions, and they arrive when the world goes quiet. Now, you need to understand what is actually happening, because this is not imagination, and it is not coincidence. There is a reason this night targets your dreams instead of your waking mind. Your conscious awareness is guarded. It filters, it questions, it resists. But when you sleep, those barriers soften. The mind loosens its grip, and something far older takes control. The part of you that communicates in symbols, sensations, and knowing instead of language. Tomorrow night, that inner channel widens, not gradually, not gently. It opens all at once. What makes this moment rare is not emotion, intuition, or spirituality. It is timing. A cycle that has been quietly completing itself reaches its final degree, its last breath before reset. Endpoints are dangerous places in the universe. They don't hold energy. They release it. That release doesn't explode outward. It pours inward. And when it does, the subconscious becomes a receiving field. This is why so many people have felt strange pressure building lately. Not anxiety exactly. Not excitement either. More like standing in a room right before thunder cracks, when the air feels thick and your body senses what your mind can't yet name. Your dreams have been adjusting for this. If they've become more cinematic, more emotional, more symbolic, that's not your imagination drifting. That's calibration. Because on this night, your dream state stops generating content and starts translating information. This is where most people misunderstand what dreams really are. They assume dreams are random mental noise, memories replaying themselves, thoughts dissolving into nonsense. But under specific conditions, rare conditions, dreams function differently. They become transmission chambers. When this gate opens, the normal boundaries that separate you from deeper layers of awareness temporarily collapse. The filters drop, the noise fades, and suddenly, information that could never survive your waking skepticism slips through intact. This is why you don't receive these messages while awake. Your mind would argue with them, your fear would distort them, your logic would reject them. So they arrive when you are quiet enough to listen. You may notice the dreams don't follow ordinary rules. Time behaves strangely. Places merge. People appear without explanation. Meaning feels more important than storyline. That's because the language being used is not rational. It's symbolic precision. Every image carries instruction. Every emotion carries direction. Every disruption has purpose. And here's the part that unsettles people. These dreams are not just for you. They move through you. They are shaped by your life, your memories, your wounds. But the information inside them is larger than personal psychology. It connects to decisions you haven't made yet, paths you haven't stepped onto, roles you haven't fully claimed. That's why the dreams may feel intrusive. Why they linger after waking, why you might wake up with your heart racing or your chest tight, sensing that something important just passed through you. It did. The reason this opening feels intense is because it doesn't deliver one message. It delivers 3, distinct, sequential, each serving a different function. One dissolves, one constructs, one directs. But before those messages arrive, your inner system has to be receptive. That's why the build-up mattered. That's why sleep patterns shifted. That's why emotional debris surfaced. The gate does not open for chaos. It opens for readiness. And readiness doesn't mean perfection. It means flexibility. It means the old identity is already loosening. It means you've reached the point where staying the same costs more than changing. Most people reach this point unconsciously and pull back. You didn't. You leaned in. That's why you're here. Because once the gate opens, there is no neutral position. You either receive consciously, or the information still enters and rearranges your life quietly from beneath the surface. Tomorrow night, the dream world stops being a mirror. It becomes a doorway. And what steps through it is not random imagery. It is instruction, delivered in the only language deep enough to reach you. This is where everything shifts. What comes through tomorrow night is not one vague realization or a single emotional wave. It arrives in sequence, deliberate, precise. 3 messages, each doing a different job inside you. If you remember nothing else from your dreams, you will remember the feeling that something important happened. Because these messages don't whisper. They move, and they arrive in an order for a reason. The first message. The ending you've been resisting. The first message doesn't comfort you. It clears you. It will likely arrive wrapped in images of loss, distortion, or instability. Water is common. Flooded rooms, endless rain. Being submerged but still breathing. Familiar places that no longer look the way they should. You may dream of losing something essential. A phone, keys, money, a home. Or returning to a place from your past, only to realize it no longer belongs to you. This message can feel unsettling when you wake up, heavy, empty, like something has been taken, but nothing is being stolen. What's happening is exposure. This message reveals what has already expired in your life. Identities you've outgrown. Attachments that survived only because you kept feeding them. Versions of yourself that no longer match where you're going. You've been protecting these things like armor. But armor becomes a cage when the battle changes. The dream shows you this without negotiation. That's why it feels final. And if you wake up with a strange sense of relief mixed with grief, that's how you'll know the message landed. The relief comes from truth. The grief comes from realizing how long you carried something that was already gone. Once this message completes its work, space opens, and space never stays empty for long. The second message, the weight of what you're meant to build. The second message feels different immediately. Where the first dissolves, this one organizes. Your dreams may shift into effort and structure, climbing, constructing, studying, carrying tools you don't fully recognize but somehow know how to use. You may encounter authority figures, teachers, elders, guides, who don't comfort you but instruct you. They may say very little, yet everything they communicate feels exact. This message often carries pressure, responsibility, expectation. You might wake up thinking, "This is too much," or "I'm not ready for this." That reaction is intentional. This message introduces you to the future version of yourself before you feel qualified to become them. You may dream of tests you haven't studied for, doors that require keys you don't yet possess, or structures that must be built step by step. This is not punishment. This is preparation. The dream is revealing dormant skills, discipline you haven't needed yet, endurance you didn't know you had, focus that only activates when the stakes are real. If the first message removes illusion, the second one installs responsibility. And that weight you feel, that's not burden. That's gravity pulling you toward your purpose. The third message, the call you can't unhear. The third message doesn't unfold. It strikes. This dream will feel sharper, clearer, more vivid than the others. Colors brighter, sounds louder, presence heavier. Some people hear something, a word, a name, a sentence. Others see symbols, numbers, places, or paths illuminated, while others fade into shadow. You may find yourself standing at a crossroads. You may encounter a figure that feels impossibly familiar. Or you may simply wake up with a knowing so strong it overrides doubt. This is the moment of orientation, not explanation, direction. The message may not make logical sense yet. It doesn't need to. Its purpose is not clarity. Its purpose is alignment. This is your internal compass activating. Once it does, something irreversible happens. You can ignore the message, but you cannot unfeel it. It will resurface in choices, instincts, and moments of sudden certainty. It will pull you towards specific people, ideas, or paths without needing justification. That's how you'll know it was real. Because fantasy fades, calls do not. These three messages are not separate events. They are a sequence: release, responsibility, direction. And when they complete their work, you won't wake up as the same person who fell asleep. You'll wake up lighter, heavier, and unmistakably aligned. Because this is not about dreams, it's about initiation. What happens next is what separates a moment from a turning point. Because receiving the messages is not the end of the process. It's the beginning of consequences. Most experiences that feel mystical fade by morning. They dissolve under daylight, logic, routine. But this one doesn't. And the reason is simple. It doesn't stay in the dream world. It anchors. Tomorrow night is designed so that what moves through your subconscious does not evaporate when you wake up. The insight doesn't scatter. The feeling doesn't weaken. Instead, it settles, quietly, heavily, like wet cement hardening beneath your feet. This is why the night feels serious, not dramatic, serious. You may wake up feeling grounded but unsettled, calm but alert, as if something inside you has decided that excuses are no longer acceptable. That sensation is the lock engaging. This phase exists for one reason: to prevent retreat. Without it, you could rationalize the dreams away, call them imagination, call them coincidence, go back to the life that already felt wrong. But once the lock engages, denial becomes uncomfortable, and avoidance becomes exhausting. This is where many people feel the pressure to act, not impulsively, but deliberately, to commit to something they've postponed, to end something they've prolonged, to stop negotiating with a version of themselves that no longer exists. The darkness of this phase is not fear, it's gravity. Gravity pulls everything toward what's real. You may notice a sudden intolerance for dishonesty, especially your own. Conversations that once felt tolerable now feel hollow. Distractions lose their appeal. Noise becomes irritating. This is not isolation. It's alignment narrowing your focus. You are being asked to choose substance over comfort. And here's what most people don't expect. This locking phase is not loud. There are no signs in the sky, no external confirmation, no applause. It works internally. You may feel it as a quiet resolve, a subtle tightening in your chest when you consider backing out, a persistent inner voice that doesn't demand. It waits. That patience is what makes it powerful, because the message doesn't chase you. It follows you. Every time you're about to repeat an old pattern, it will be there. Every time you're tempted to shrink yourself, it will be there. Not punishing, reminding. This is the phase where destiny stops being inspirational and starts being practical, where vision becomes obligation, where knowing becomes responsibility. And yes, this is where it gets uncomfortable, because reality demands consistency. You may feel the urge to clean, organize, simplify, to strip your life down to what matters, to remove excess, objects, habits, even people that dilute your energy. That's not restlessness, that's integration. The darkness here is clean, focused, grounded. It doesn't scare you, it steadies you. This phase teaches you something critical. That destiny is not dramatic, it's disciplined. It doesn't announce itself every day. It shows up as choice, as follow-through, as the refusal to betray yourself when no one is watching. You are not being rushed, you are being anchored. And once anchored, movement becomes inevitable. That's why after this night, certain paths will quietly close. Not with conflict, with disinterest. Doors that once tempted you will no longer respond, not because you are blocked, but because you are done. This is the point where the dream becomes memory, and the memory becomes behavior. You won't need motivation. You'll have alignment, and alignment doesn't shout. It holds, firmly, until you move. When this night passes, the world will look exactly the same. The sun will rise. Messages will come in. People will continue their routines. Conversations will sound familiar. And yet, something irreversible will have already occurred. Because the shift you are stepping through does not announce itself externally. It settles internally. Quiet, final, decisive. This is where most people misunderstand transformation. They expect fireworks, emotional highs, sudden clarity that explains everything at once. That's not how real change works. Real change is subtle. It changes what you tolerate, what you choose, what you can no longer pretend not to know. After this night, you may not feel dramatically different, but you will feel misaligned with your old patterns. Old behaviors will feel heavier. Old excuses will feel hollow. Old fears will lose their authority. Not because you fought them, but because something deeper outgrew them. This is what initiation actually looks like. You don't become someone new overnight. You become unable to remain who you were. In the days and weeks that follow, you may notice small but undeniable shifts. Decisions that once took endless deliberation suddenly feel obvious. Situations you used to tolerate quietly begin to irritate you. Certain people may drift away without conflict, without explanation. That is not loss, that is sorting. What belongs with you now will stay. What doesn't will fall away naturally. And here is the part that matters most. You are not meant to rush this. Destiny does not need urgency, it needs honesty. Some of you will want immediate confirmation, signs, proof, reassurance that what you experienced was real. But the confirmation won't arrive theatrically. It will arrive as consistency, as alignment, as the quiet knowing that when you act in a certain direction, resistance dissolves. That's how you'll recognize the new path. It doesn't feel easy. It feels right. You may still feel fear, but it will no longer control you. You may still feel doubt, but it won't stop you. The difference is subtle, but absolute. The old version of you waited for permission. This version moves with internal authority. And that authority does not argue. It doesn't convince. It proceeds. From this point forward, ignoring what you know will feel worse than acting on it. Shrinking will feel more painful than risk. Silence will feel heavier than expression. That is not pressure. That is alignment applying weight. And alignment always wins. Some nights in the future, you'll remember this one. Not vividly, but instinctively. You won't replay the dreams. You won't analyze the symbols. You'll simply recognize that this was the moment the trajectory changed. The moment the internal debate ended. The moment your life stopped being theoretical. This is not about perfection. You will still hesitate. You will still learn. You will still stumble. But you will not turn back, because once a deeper truth integrates, reversal becomes impossible. This is why not everyone experiences this shift consciously. It's not about worth. It's about readiness. And readiness doesn't mean having answers. It means being willing to live the questions. If you are hearing this and feeling the quiet recognition in your chest, not excitement, not fear, but certainty, then the work has already begun. You don't need to announce it. You don't need to explain it. You only need to honor it. The night you are stepping through is not the end of something. It is the end of avoidance and the beginning of alignment. From here on, your life will not be louder. It will be truer. And once truth takes hold, it does not loosen its grip. Not ever.